Guess who's back? Back again. AOK's back. Tell a friend. Welcome to episode 42 of the Access to Combat podcast. I'm one half of your co-host, Hugo the Boss. Hugo got next, joined by my co-host.
Your boy Ray Boogie, the BOOGIE. You already know business.
And before we get into any of that business, you already know the routine, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, follow Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody enjoying the visuals right now. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, you already know. Now, before we get into any of these, this week's card, we're gonna recap the bets. You guys can follow us on our social media platforms. We're on a cold streak for the last 2 weeks. Did not start this new year off well. We intend to turn that around this week. Also wanted to turn it over to my brother, who was dealing with some ailments, unfortunately, last week.
Yeah.
Hope get into that. Yeah.
I was sick. Sick of losing. And then we got rinsed again. My God. But, like my brother said, we cold until we hot. We're going to turn this around. Starting today, hopefully.
What do you got for me, brother? What's this week's card looking like?
Well, we got UFC Vegas 86 popping right off in the Apex Center once again. 14 fight, top to bottom. It's not the best card in my opinion.
No.
I know you like to, be like, this card ain't really bettable. And then we end up with 18 bets. But this one actually might not be that bettable. I don't know. I'm saying that now, and I'm probably going to look like a dumbass later. Who knows? Because I'm a degenerate, but
As long as we win. That's all that matters.
Amen.
That's all the audience out there cares about.
Just steering the ship, in the right direction.
Oh, baby.
All right. The curtain jerker. First fight on the card to kick off UFC Vegas 86. We got Daniel Marcos going one-on-one with Aoriqileng, the Mongolian murderer. Soncora. Daniel Marcos, 30 years old, hailing from San Miguel, Lima, Peru. 15-0. Going one-on-one with the Mongolian murder burger. Aoriqileng, Inner Mongolia, China. 30 years old. 25-11 overall. This fight is a little wide, in my opinion. I think Marcos is probably the rifle side. I think the line is probably getting a little out of control.
Absolutely.
In terms of there's a lot of people smashing Marcos here. I do think he's the rifle side. I think he wins this fight. I think Aoriqileng kind of plays more or less into his style. He's a volume striker, very crafty, uses a lot of kicks, front kicks, uppercuts. He's funky with it. Aoriqileng, tough, goes forward, leans on his chin probably a little too much. The reason why I think this line should be a little closer is because I think Aoriqileng's got a little bit of grappling upside here. I think you can argue this is probably Marcos's best grappler that he's fought.
Correct.
That being said, I kind of like Marcos here. Maybe unders hit on this one. I'm probably going to lean under 2.5 here. But I think Marcos is the side. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think we both agree when we thought Daniel Marcos lost to Davey Grant.
Yes.
But this fight, in my opinion, is dog or pass. I don't feel very comfortable putting money on Daniel Marcos. I don't think he's very good.
Not at minus 250.
No, he's nuts. That's nuts. I don't think he's that good. Because, minus 250 odds, ladies and gentlemen, implies that he's going to finish this fight. I'm not sure he's going to do that. I can't reasonably guesstimate that he's going to finish this fight. But what I will say is that if Aoriqileng decides to wrestle him, this fight's going to get very interesting because Daniel Marcos can't wrestle for shit.
I think he's got good takedown defense, but I think once you get him to the ground, his
wrestling's okay. His grappling is questionable. Let's just put it that way. So I like Marcos to win this fight, but don't know how I'm going to bet this. If this line gets any more disrespectful, I might have to put half a unit down or even a quarter of a unit down on Aoriqileng on just principle. So, but yeah, Daniel Marcos, probably by decision.
Next fight on the prelims here. At 145, we got the debuting Hyder Amil going one-on-one with Fernie Garcia, the Hurricane Amil. Perfect, 8-0. Fighting out of San Francisco, California, 33 years old, going one-on-one with Fernie Garcia. Not the original opponent. The original opponent, Hyder actually had two opponents. He was supposed to fight Bagdasarian first. He fell out. Then Nuremberg, he fell out. So Fernie stepping up. He is 10-4 overall. Fighting out of Dallas, Texas, 31 years old. Fun fight. Striker versus striker primarily. Hyder, he's from the Scrap Pack. He's a Gilbert Melendez guy. Doing tape on him. I think the most annoying thing was watching Gilbert just straight up be so biased. He's like rooting for Hyder to win on commentary, and then I think he's sitting next to Anthony Smith. Anthony's looking at him like, "Calm down, bro. Forget it. He's your guy."
He did a Paul Felder.
Oh man, it was annoying. It was to an annoying level. But Hyder, there's not too much to his game. I think he's good when it comes to grappling, but doesn't really want to grapple. I think what he wants to do is walk forward and make it a brawl. Fernie, stepping in last minute, low volume striker. Not really impressed with the dude. The one thing I do like about Fernie is that he's hard to get out. I seen him in some crazy compromised positions in terms of grappling, in terms of being in some subs. Hard to get out. So I give him that. He's durable. I lean the overs here. This fight kind of leans into... I want to say that this fight, it's probably going to go to decision. I think both guys are durable, and I think I want to lean Hyder here. I wouldn't be too surprised if this is a split decision. Hyder's not really going to go and do the one thing that Fernie's weak against, and which is grappling. So I don't know. I'm leaning Amil here. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you on Amil. I think he should win this fight. Another thing, just to echo on top of all your points are all correct. I also think this is a interesting fight for Fernie, because this is going to be him moving up in weight for this fight. So he's not going to have the size advantage, or at least, not the natural size advantage for the weight class, because it's not a division he's built his body for. And he's going to be going against a guy that has the capability of holding him on the floor and out wrestling him to a certain extent, especially if he catches a kick like he did in one of his regional scene fights and just holds him down. He has that kind of capability. Amil does get caught in some submissions sometimes, but I do think he has good enough submission defense, especially training with the Scrap Pack. So I will lean Amil probably by decision here as well.
Next fight we got here on the prelims, light heavyweight, Zach Pauga, the High Chief, going one-on-one with, don't know his nickname, Bogdan Guskov.
Horrible.
Battle of the Mid.
Battle of the Mid.
One of many mid fights on this card. This card is not that crazy. But we got Pauga here, who's 6-2, fighting out of Colorado, 35 years old, going one-on-one with Guskov, 14-3, fighting out of Uzbekistan, Russia, 31 years old. Like I said, Battle of the Mid. Zach Pauga, not really entertaining, in my opinion. Fights safe, in my opinion. He did kind of step up a little bit against Bukowskis, I think was his last opponent.
Yep.
But he's also the same guy who took Jordan Wright to decision. The only man probably to take Jordan Wright to decision.
Beverly Hills Ninja.
My God.
I tell you what, though, I thought he won the Bukowskis fight.
I thought that fight was definitely closer than. It was a close fight.
Yeah,
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah,
I was actually kind of surprised to see that he lost that fight.
Yep. Bukowskis was surprised to see he won.
He was. We got Guskov here, who, I mean, listen.
The vampire from Blade 2.
He looks like a fraud. Smells like a fraud. Listen, cut him a little slack. His debut was against Ozdemir.
Which is...
Ozdemir ain't really a pushover. He ain't...
Top of the food chain. But
what he used to be either, exactly.
Yeah.
But I give Guskov one thing. He comes forward and he'll throw bombs. I think the finishing upside is on the Guskov side. But I got a feeling this is going to be fought at a Zach Pauga pace. So maybe I could see a sweaty over 1.5 where it just hits the 230 mark and then some shit goes down.
Right.
Oh, man, it sucks that I'm gonna lean Pauga here, but I do not hate people playing the Guskov knockout.
Round 1.
Probably round 1, maybe round 2's even juicier.
I don't think he's seen a round 3, right?
I don't think so.
That's nuts.
But yeah, this is battle of the mid here. I'm not really excited about this fight. What about you?
Yeah, I got some clips and, some points in while you were speaking. So sorry to interrupt, but
it's a podcast, brother. You ain't really interrupting.
Yeah,
more of like an exchange of thoughts and ideas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm not rude. I try not to be rude, but
I mean, I'm gonna be fucking rude.
We're past the 10-minute mark, right? Yeah, we're good. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, but Zach Pauga, yeah, I'm leaning him as well for the decision. I think he is going to fight this at his pace. I mean, if he can hold someone like Bukauskas, who is a little low volume, but this guy's low volume too, at bay, who I think Bukauskas is more technical than this guy, I think he's going to be able to keep him at his range and keep it at his pace. I also think that Guskov's not going to be able to take him down because I think Zach trains with killers. He works with Curtis Blades. I mean, he's good. He's good. He's a serviceable fighter. He's not a guy who's gonna blow your hair back, but he's not like a bum either.
It's one of those fights where I think Pauga's gonna win, but I'm definitely rooting for Guskov.
Oh my goodness!
A lot of you.
Like I said, I think this is a fight where you play Guskov. If you're gonna play Guskov, play him early, and if you like Pauga looks after the first round, if you get plus money for either a second or third round stoppage or just on the money line, take it. Because he's probably going to win the next 2 rounds, in my opinion. So, I like Zach Pauga via decision.
All right, next fight we got here on the prelims. This is a decent fight. Welterweight. Jeremiah Wells. Max Payne Griffin. Wells, 2-3-1, fighting out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I said Philadelphia twice. 37 years old. Going one-on-one with Max Payne Griffin. 19-10 overall, fighting out of Sacramento, California, 38 years old. So we got 2, I don't want to say over the hill, but definitely past their prime fighters. Going one-on-one here. And in which I think is going to be a very competitive fight, a fight that probably goes over, a fight that probably goes to decision, if I'm being honest. In one hand, I kind of want to lean Jeremiah. I think he's currently the favorite slightly, like minus 150, right? He's around there. I see the Jeremiah side. He's got the grappling upside. He's got power. He looks like he don't got cardio, but he's kind of got like that power through cardio.
It's weird, yeah.
Some weird,
yeah.
And then we got Max Payne, proven vet, been in the game, hasn't really been out wrestled since I think his debut fight against Covington. Hasn't really beat anybody of significance, but has definitely lost to some impressive guys. This is tough. This is a tough fight. I think Max is gonna have the striking edge in terms of just volume. Jeremiah is like notoriously low volume. Man, it's a toss up. It's a toss up. I don't know who I'm leaning. I'm gonna, for the podcast, I'm just gonna say that if you play the Max Griffin side, I don't hate it. I do think Jeremiah has the grappling to kind of just like suppress Griffin. Griffin's got some good takedown defense though. I'm gonna lean Wells, not with the most confidence. Not with the most confidence. Might end up on the Griffin side in terms of a play, But I think probably the better play is maybe just the overs. And I think this fight probably goes to decision more times than not. I don't think anybody's finishing anybody here.
I agree.
And yeah, that's kind of where I'm leaning here.
I agree. I think the safest play is the overs. Because Jeremiah Wells has been, his chin has been checked a couple of times. I know that a lot of people are talking about Max Griffin being like the seasoned vet. Jeremiah Wells ain't no spring chicken either, even though he has less miles. But Max Griffin was actually giving Miles Morales different looks. Miles Morales.
Michael Morales.
Oh boy, where you at? There you are. Michael Morales, a whole bunch of looks. So, you know, I think Jeremiah Wells is he's got all the tools to win this fight. I think Max Griffin is a very durable guy, and it's going to be very hard to get out of there. So I think the overs are going to hit. Max Griffin's also not a power puncher. So I think the overs hit here. I don't know who's going to win this fight because I would have to lean Wells because of the grappling upside, but that's it. Like I don't think he's going to be able to outstrike Max Griffin.
No, Max is going to outvolley him 100%.
Yeah.
And I think if it stays standing, like it's going to look a little one-sided.
Correct. It's going to look a lot like that Sellemsberger fight, low key. Like where Jeremiah died 3 times.
And Max got some pop low key, so it's like
he's not like the biggest puncher, but he's decent enough. I won't say he's like a terrifying puncher like Sellemsberger.
Man, I might switch up real quick. I might go Max.
Yeah, I do. This fight literally, you could argue dog or pass. So if you want to pick Wells, I get it. If you want to pick Griffin, I get it. Both lines are playable, but the safest pick, in my opinion, and so my brother as well, I think is the over. The over here's the play.
All right, next fight we got here on the prelims, light heavyweight again. Another battle of the mid. We got the brown bear, Devin Clark, going one-on-one with Marcin Prachnio. Devin Clark, 14-8, fighting out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, 33 years old. Prachnio, 16-7, fighting out of Amsterdam, Netherlands, hailing from Poland, 35 years old. Again, another battle of the mid. And kind of a binary fight. We got Devin Clark, who's got horrible grappling. And we got Marcin Prachnio, who's got the horrible striking. I'm going to lean Clark here. Not with the most confidence, only because I just don't trust this guy's chin ever. And a little bit on the low IQ side, no offense, but you know, he'd be making some questionable decisions. Yeah.
100%.
Prachnio, I mean, we know his weakness. You just got to take him down.
Correct.
If you want to stand up with Prachnio, I mean, do it at your own risk. He hasn't really knocked anybody out in the UFC. I think he's got 1 knockout, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But again, striking's his bread and butter. And when you're going against the guy who doesn't really have the most reliable chin, I mean, Devin Clark would be wise to take this man down. I'm going to lean Devin Clark here, not with the most confidence. Wouldn't be surprised at a Prachnio upset, only because
you have to see how this fight starts.
Yes,
it's kind of crazy because if Devin Clark is not going to his wrestling, you should put a small play down on Prachnio.
I think you slam Prachnio
because you know that's the way to beat him. And you want the real. Listen, I know he got a win over Khalil Roundtree. I thought he lost that fight, to be frank, but he does have serviceable striking. He understands distance. He does know how to roll with punches a tiny bit. Does get clipped a little too much for my liking, especially with someone like Devin Clark who has decent punching power. But if Devin Clark is not wrestling him, this fight's 50-50.
100%. No, maybe less than
maybe
50-50,
60-40 in favor of Prachnio.
Yeah, it's
kind of nuts. So if Devin Clark is not looking to wrestle immediately, I think you smash Prachnio. I think you put a unit, not a unit, like a half a unit down or even a quarter of a unit down, depending on the money line.
What do you think about over and under here? I think over's hit. I think this probably goes to decision.
It's kind of nuts, but I agree. Because Devin Clark is not really a finisher.
No.
And Prachnio is not really a puncher.
He's not really a finisher either.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, listen, we could get MMA'd on this fight, but I think it goes to decision more times than not.
I agree. Same.
Next fight on the prelims. Our first women's fight at strawweight. 115, if you didn't know. We got Loma Lookboonmee going one-on-one with the special one. Bruna, Brazil. Lookboonmee, 8-3, hailing from Thailand, fighting out of Thailand, 28 years old, going one-on-one with Bruna, Brazil, 9-3-1, hailing from Brazil, fighting out of Brazil. Her last name is Brazil, 30 years old. Little redundant.
The special one.
I think this is going to be a decent fight. Again, lower level fight. I think Lookboonmee's the rifle side. I think Lookboonmee's number is a little crazy, all things considered, but I do think she has multiple paths to victory here. I think she's probably the better striker. Bruna Brazil's the better counter striker. Loma Lookboonmee, I think she's just got more weapons. I think I like her kicks. I like her aggressiveness, and I like her top game. She has been evolving as a fighter. Kudos to her. Their common opponent, Denise Gomes. Gomes washed Brazil.
Rinsed.
Lookboonmee sort of rinsed Gomes. I say sort of rinsed because she kind of did whatever Lookboonmee did whatever she wanted with Gomes for the most part. Kind of turned her brain off in the third round of that fight, which reminded me that even though Lookboonmee's been improving on the ground, still kind of lost. She was in the middle of a leg lock that Gomes gave up. And for some reason, instead of Lookboonmee getting up, she kind of just was frozen because she didn't know how to get up or what to do. And then Gomes ended up just taking her back. Eventually, Lookboonmee, who is a very underratedly strong woman, was able to just overpower her, eventually reverse position, and finish the fight. Not finish the fight, but, you know, she finished the fight strong. I like Lookboonmee here. I don't agree with her being a minus 300. I think Brazil is probably live for a submission.
Yeah, she has 2 guillotines on her record.
Bruna Brazil is probably live to get knocked out as well.
Correct.
She's also got 3 knockout L's.
Yeah.
On her record. So
she has the tall girl's defense.
It's a good fight, but I'm leaning Lookboonmee here, but I don't agree with the minus 300. I think 2-1 probably. 3-1's a little crazy.
I am too. I think Loma by decision is the play. I like the wrestling upside here. I think she is the better wrestler. Brazil has had instances where she has taken decent shots. I just think Loma is better at setting it up with her kicks and her punches and getting to the body and getting a body lock and with the open mat wrestling and just setting up those shots to get it down to the floor. I agree with you with the odds. I think the odds are outrageous because Brazil can strike as well. Brazil also is not incompetent on the floor. But since she is not incompetent on the floor, I'm going to take a swing here and say I think Loma's going to win this by decision. Loma might be a parlay piece, but I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about that.
Next fight on the prelims. Lightweight. Men's. We got 2 debutantes. We got the Zulu Warrior. I don't want to butcher his first name. Bolaji? Oki? I think.
Bolaji Oki.
Bolaji Oki. The Zulu Warrior. Going one-on-one with Twilight. Timothy Cuamba. Oki, 8-1, fighting out of Belgium, hailing from Belgium, 28 years old, going one-on-one with Cuamba, also 8-1, fighting out of Nevada, 25 years old. We got Cuamba moving up a weight class on 8 days' notice.
Yeah, not a fan of that.
Coming off a win, off a
week.
fight from last week.
Nuts.
Where he knocked out a dude, I think, second round.
That's nuts.
I don't know how to feel about this fight. In one hand, I think Oki is solid. I haven't seen enough to really formulate a solid opinion on him. Cuamba, I feel the same way. I haven't really seen enough. I think Cuamba has got the faster hands, and especially if he's moving up now from a weight class, he's definitely gonna have the faster hands. But I don't think he's gonna be the stronger guy.
No,
I think grappling is gonna be a big part of this fight, but I don't know which way to lean. Probably the Oki side when it comes to the grappling. I'm gonna say Oki wins here, but I think from from a betting perspective, I don't know where to lean. I don't know where to lean here. What about you?
I think that this fight it's a little wide for 2-1 in my opinion, because I think not only is Cuamba moving up, I think he's just gonna have the better feet. He's gonna have the better footwork. He's gonna have the faster feet. I do think that Oki does get it done. I don't want to say by decision. I'm not too sure. Because, well, you know, probably that by decision because Cuamba is a durable dude. But I think that Oki's probably going to win minutes just bullying him a little bit and being more physical with him. So Oki's the lean. Not sure I'm going to touch this fight, though. Not sure I'm going to touch this fight for a lot of reasons. Because Oki could knock him out. Cuamba could knock him out. You know, that could happen. So there's not enough on these guys, and technically both of them are debuting, and I'm just learning at this point to stay away from debut fights because UFC jitters are real, and who knows who's going to rise to the occasion. They both might shit the bed, and it might be a very boring fight. So this fight might be a big pass. We'll see, though. We'll see come fight night. But 2-1 is a little crazy, even though Cuamba is moving up in weight. Cuamba is skilled. He's skilled. He's not a bad fighter, so.
Next fight at welterweight. It looks like it's currently constituted as the main event, well, the main prelim. Before we get into the main card, we got Trevin, the problem Giles,
Get
officer.
the fuck out of here.
Going one-on-one with another debuting guy, Carlos Prates, the Nightmare. Giles, 16-5, fighting out of Houston, Texas, 31 years old, going one-on-one with the Nightmare, Prates. 17-6, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 30 years old. Now, this is a fight where I want to lean Giles. I think he has the grappling edge here. But man, Prates looks so good in his Contender Series fight. Super accurate fighter. Big for the division. Long. Kind of a sniper.
Yeah.
Got some power. Giles don't really got the chin.
No.
It's a mixed bag for me. I'm gonna actually lean Prates here to win. Not with the most confidence, because again, if Giles decides to grapple, we've seen Prates taken down easily and held down. Giles does have a very clear path. The problem with Giles is I don't trust his chin and I don't trust his IQ. And he's just a habitual line stepper, you know?
I agree.
And I mean, I don't like Prates' money line straight here.
Yeah, it's nuts. Not for a guy who's debuting against a guy who's seasoned.
I want if I'm gonna lean the Prates side, I think I might lean the finish.
Yeah, probably by knockout.
Maybe knockout, but this is another fight where it's like I'm not too confident. It's a little scary. Giles, if he turned his fucking brain on, should be able to control and probably win this fight. But man, Prates' striking just looks so smooth and slick and accurate that I think he can give Giles problems if he just last, because Giles is a little bit of a gas bag too, just a bit. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you. I do think like a play on Trevin Giles via submission could be a play, because 3 of this guy's first 4 losses out of his 6 are by submission. I don't know if I want to bet this fight either, just because this guy is debuting, but he is a sniper. Like as you said, he hits the target. And Giles just hasn't shown the durability or the fight IQ for me to be convinced to play him either. So I think this is a fight, but I'm probably going to play props. Maybe a knockout for Prates, and then maybe a submission for Giles. Prates also has submission wins, so I would like to see what that looks like as well too, in case Giles tries to take him down.
Maybe some inside the distance,
Yeah, something, But I don't feel comfortable playing the line on any of this.
No,
like Dan Ige coming up. I feel way more comfortable playing that line.
Yes.
So, and he's at a more reasonable line against a guy I think he's going to beat, but we'll talk about that when we get there.
All right. To kick off the main card, we got the black belt hunter himself, Rodolfo Vieira, going one-on-one with Superman, Armen Petrosyan. Vieira, 9-2. I thought he had a more extensive record.
Jiu-jitsu he does.
Fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. 34 years old, going one-on-one with Superman, Armen Petrosyan. 8-2. Hailing from Armenia, fighting out of Armenia, 33 years old. I'm just going to get this one out the way real quick. I don't like Vieira. Listen, I get it. You got the jits, bro. You're a jits god with the gi. You ain't that good at MMA, bro.
No.
Not in my opinion. I just think he's
already a finished product, in my opinion.
Yeah.
He's older already.
His striking has improved slightly.
Yeah, the way some people are pumping it, it's like they make it sound like he's serviceable. He's not even serviceable, in my opinion.
But I think the fact that his striking has improved slightly is probably what's going to get him into trouble with Petrosyan, because that's not the way to beat Petrosyan, in my opinion.
Correct.
My opinion, you got to get Petrosyan down. You got to hold him down, and then you sub him, right? This is a binary fight. If he gets it to the ground, he'll win. If Petrosyan can keep it standing, I think he wins. I'm leaning Petrosyan here. I like Petrosyan here. I think the only person he's struggled with lately in terms of grappling was Rogelio. Rogelio's the type to backpack a dude. Vieira, not really the type to backpack. If he does, I mean, kudos to him. Vieira just has a trouble getting to the grappling.
I agree.
Because he's missing that wrestling part of his game. I think if he improved the wrestling part of his game, it would help his overall game. But I like Petrosyan here. I think Petrosyan is probably going to win via KO. I think this is probably one of the fights that go under. And I'm probably going to I'm calling it second round.
Oh, damn.
I'm calling it. Nuts on the table, baby.
Well, listen, I want to, I don't know about the stoppage, but because Rodolfo's built like a Greek god, to be frank, and he can take a shot.
And this is post USADA too. I almost forgot about that.
Yeah, he might be on some shit.
He might be on that.
He might be on that sugar water.
If he comes in blonde, he's on that all over shit. You know what I'm saying?
But I'm with you on Petrosyan. When this fight was initially booked a couple of months ago, we were both on Petrosyan, and I had not changed my position, to be frank with you. I think Petrosyan is very good at getting up and not taking a lot of damage on the floor, as you saw with Cal Brahallo. Brahallo couldn't land a ton of damage on him on the floor. What I will say is that Brahallo also has striking and decent entries to get to the grappling.
Yes.
Rodolfo doesn't have any of that. He hasn't shown it yet, and he's already an older gentleman. By the way, built like a god. Like if he worked on his Greco-Roman, he might be taking everybody down.
Yeah.
Thing is, he's just his jiu-jitsu and all that stuff is not serviceable in MMA. Like even his last couple of fights, he's had people on the floor and they've lasted 3 to 4 minutes at a time with him. So it's not like it's like a death trap if you fall into the floor with him. Just gotta kind of survive the storm, weather it, try to get back up, and or just wait till the end of the round. I could see Petrosyan doing that, popping back up. That's what he's been known for, just popping back up when people try to hold him down. And I think he's going to do it here again and probably relatively easily. This fight, Petrosyan's definitely getting a bet from me. The unit size, I have not decided yet. Will I play props on him for the stoppage? I want to look a little more into it. My brother's a little more optimistic about that play than I am. But
this is one of the few plays on the card, on this entire card that I like.
I love this play.
Straight. Yeah.
And I think this is the first bet I'm giving you, legitimate on the podcast. I think my brother's committing to it as well. I think he's gonna fuck him up. I really do. I just don't see Rodolfo being able to get to him. And if he does get to him, is he gonna be able to hold him down? Everyone he's fought, including Cody Brundage, lasted for a couple of minutes on the floor with him before he got him.
Yeah, Cody got him. Cody Brundage. Ladies and gentlemen.
That's all. Cody almost killed him.
Yeah.
Cody almost killed him in the first round. So, if Cody can hit him and Cody can survive on the floor somewhat before getting subbed, this guy can hurt him, keep him at distance, and then not even let him get to those power positions with the grappling, whether it's for the head and arm choke, which he loves. I don't even think he's going to allow Rodolfo to get to his back, because Cal Brahallo got to his back, but Cal Brahallo is just a lot more athletic than Rodolfo. He just is. He knows he's quicker. He has striking that can get to that position, and he has better wrestling. Rodolfo has none of that. So I'm leading Petrosyan here, and I'm betting Petrosyan here. So yeah, keep an eye out for how much we're going to put down on social media platforms, as you know. Twitter/X, I don't know anymore. You know, I'm just going to say it like that going forward, but I'm going to call it Twitter because it's still Twitter to me, damn it.
Formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah.
Next fight on the main card at lightweight, we got the Menace, Michael Johnson, going one-on-one with Beast Mode, Darius Flowers.
This is my man right here, bro.
Some hard-ass nicknames, boy.
I love him. I like both of them.
Michael Johnson, 21-19. Damn, he's almost got a 500 record.
Which is crazy. It's his record does not reflect how good he is, ladies and gentlemen.
No.
So
Michael Johnson, 21-19, fighting out of Boca Raton, Florida, 37 years old, going one-on-one with Beast Mode, Darius Flowers, fighting out of Mason City, Iowa, 12-6-1, 29 years old. I want to lean Michael Johnson here so bad. I do. There's something about Darius Flowers that I don't like. I can't put my finger on it. He's moving down in weight for this fight, which I kind of like for the Darius Flowers side. I think he was a little undersized at 170
against Jake Matthews.
Against Jake Matthews, who he was able to like put some damage on, and you know gave him a decent fight. I think he ended up losing the fight by sub in the second round anyway, but that was Darius Flowers debuting last minute. Now coming down a weight class. I like Michael Johnson a lot. I don't like his chin. I do question his IQ. This is a tough fight. I think this is a 50-50 fight, in my opinion.
Violence,
I want to lean the experience.
Yeah.
But
I'm leaning violence. Just because of how Darius Flowers fights.
Yeah.
Michael has the finishing upside here, in my opinion.
I don't know, because again, Darius hits hard. I'll give him two things. He hits hard and he grapples hard.
Yeah, but at least Michael Johnson's been to 17 decisions.
You're not wrong.
Darius Flowers only been to 3 decisions. And by the way, he has, I think, 18 boxing fights or like 10 plus for sure. And he got knocked out in a whole bunch of them. Yeah. You know, so this is a guy who's had like 40 fights and he has like a 16 fight amateur career, some shit like that. It's pretty extensive. So it's not like he's getting in there with it's not like he's inexperienced either. He's pretty experienced.
I think I want to lean Michael Johnson here.
I'm leaning him on experience, better wrestling, and smoother striking.
It's just not with the most confidence, to be honest, because I got 100% to see Darius Flowers like
flatlining him.
Yeah,
flatlining him. I like violence in this fight because I think Darius is either gonna get killed or kill.
You think this goes under?
Yeah, I think so because either he's gonna find Michael's chin or Michael's gonna catch him. I wonder what Michael's grappling's like.
I think his grappling's gonna be pretty solid, but it's more like
someone's getting knocked down.
How is it gonna look like against Flowers? I think Flowers is a decent grappler, to be honest. It's just I don't know.
I like violence in this fight. I think someone's gonna get murked.
I almost feel like this is almost like I don't want to call him like the new Phil Hawes or anything like that, but like because Phil Hawes just got cut. But this is like a Phil Hawes type spot where it's like I feel like Michael Johnson's better everywhere, but man, that chin just scares the shit out of me.
It's a dustpan, bro. It's unfortunate because like you know he never lived up to what he could have been. Well, he almost did. He was top 5 lightweight, which is not easy. Like he lost to Khabib after that fight. He just was not the same, man, because he took a fucking beating in that fight, man. It was hard to watch, you know. So I think that I'm leaning Michael Johnson, just not with a big degree of confidence either.
Next fight on the main card, middleweight, Brad Tavares, one-on-one with RoboCop, Gregory Rodriguez, a.k.a. Barack Obama. Brazilian Obama.
Don't they call him like a Baram or something Obama?
Hobocop,
yeah, that's hilarious. That's so funny.
Hulk is the R because he's Brazilian. You pronounce it like an H.
Yeah.
Hobocop.
It just sounds horrible in English. Yeah. Hobocop.
Brad Tavares, 20-8, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, 36 years old, going one-on-one with Hobocop. Rodriguez, 14-5, fighting out of Brazil, hailing from Brazil, 31 years old. This is one of these fights where I think, Gregory Rodriguez is like a minus 250. And I'm still kind of leaning Gregory Rodriguez. Not that, listen, Brad, tough as hell, hard to submit, hard to take down, durable fighter, low volume.
Yeah.
That's my big issue with Brad.
Not a big puncher either.
I think he's got decent pop.
His last knockout was 5 years ago.
But
yeah,
he doesn't put it together enough.
Couldn't even finish the ghost of Chris Weidman. He should have stopped that guy. He should have stopped that motherfucker, man. That dude was on one leg half the fight. Couldn't stop him.
We got RoboCop here. I know he's gonna put the volume up. I know he's got power.
Better grappler.
I know he's got the grappling. I know he's got more submission upside.
Yeah, and Tavares is the better wrestler. I will say that.
Yes.
But Gregory's the better grappler, for sure.
I see this fight primarily just taking place in the stand-up. It's a little scary for RoboCop because of the chin.
He took a long layoff, though.
But yeah, it's been a while. And again, I think I could just reliably rely on his striking more than anything else.
I feel like this is a softball fight from the UFC, low-key. A guy not a big puncher in Tavares, and it's kind of like Gregory's return fight, low-key. I don't know. I just see, the writing in the water here, and I feel like Gregory does knock this guy out. I love Brad Tavares, too, man. He's a fucking stud, but...
I also feel like
I don't
know. Maybe I'm just hearing things. Maybe I read it wrong. I swear I thought Tavares semi-retired after that Weidman fight.
It's kind of nuts, right? That's alarming.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think you're mishearing anything. He probably felt bad for beating the fuck out of him, But what I will say is though, and this is where I'm leaning, and probably where I'm going to get the bet: dead or alive, you're coming with me. Gregory Rodriguez knockout.
Yeah, straight up. I think the Brazilian Barack is definitely the lead. I think
dead or alive, you're coming with me, bro. Come on, man. You go RoboCop, and he fights if RoboCop was a fighter, it would be Gregory Rodriguez.
It's one of my favorite movies. By the way.
It's fantastic.
I love RoboCop.
You know what I'm saying? So he's coming in there to kill or be killed, but I think Gregory's got just better upside everywhere outside of wrestling.
All right, we got the featured bout up next on the main card. And we got a debuting Robert Brzezek. How do you say his name? Brzezek? Brzezek,
I think so.
Go on one-on-one with a last-minute step in here. Ihor Pretoria.
Moving down in weight to fight this man. We got Brzezek. I hope I'm saying his name right. 17-5, fighting out of Poland, hailing from Poland, 33 years old, going one-on-one with Ihor Pretoria, the duelist. 20-5, hailing from the Ukraine, fighting out of the Ukraine, 27 years old. Brzezek's original opponent was Albert Duraev. Duraev ended up falling out, I think, with visa issues. I think they ended up cutting him. I swear I seen him on the cut list. I can't fight. They were like, all right, well, get the fuck out of here. Fighter remove list.
Yeah. Fighter did.
Oh, my goodness.
Dated. So, Pretoria, I think this was probably a calculated move from Pretoria anyway. I think he was going to move down regardless. Moving down to 185 is probably a good move for him. He's going to be the bigger guy here. He's 6'3" to 6 feet here. I feel like this was supposed to be a showcase fight for Brzezek, considering they put him on the he's a featured bout here and on the main card. Watching tape on this guy, I'm not really too impressed. Unless there's been some kind of development in his game. All I can really gather is that he's a knockout artist, decent boxing, nothing really else to his game.
I'm not impressed by your performance.
I think you can take the guy down.
I agree.
He doesn't really use his legs as much. And I seen him kind of struggle in the clinch a bit. Pretoria here.
Yeah.
Could be kind of live.
I agree, which is nuts.
And I don't like Pretoria.
No, no one likes Pretoria.
His only win in the UFC is against Shogun.
A wash Shogun. Shouldn't be fighting anymore, Shogun.
To his credit, I mean, Nurmagomedov whooped his ass.
Yeah.
That was his first fight in the UFC. Oberg smoked him. But Oberg, a.k.a.
Young talent.
Baby Rock,
Yeah.
rocked him.
Yep.
Up-and-coming talent. Hey, man, get rocked. The Bellato fight. That fight, you can argue that fight probably should have been stopped.
Pretoria's putting mitts on that boy. And that was the best he looked with the striking.
Yeah.
He was slick.
And that was braided up Pretoria. That was gangster Pretoria coming in.
All he was missing was do-rag and a Hennessy bottle. You know what I'm saying?
Pretoria, you know what I'm saying? But he came in, he blew his load, pause. Because, I mean, listen, like everybody else, I thought he was, and I had a bet on Bellato.
Yeah. That fight probably should have been stopped.
I think it was arguable he probably should have stopped that fight because
he was not responsibly defending himself, Bellato.
I think the only reason is because his head wasn't like bouncing off the mat,
which is stupid.
And I think that's what the referee was like waiting for just the bounce.
Yeah.
But he was taking damage. Ended up blowing his load, pause, and then Bellato ended up finishing him in the second round.
Yeah.
I don't know what I think. What do you think?
I think that Pretoria is a live dog in this fight.
I'm not bugging, right?
Yeah, no, you're not. And I will say, Brissek, they're pumping this guy. I'm surprised he's getting the feature fight. I hope they switch this around because I don't think he deserves to be in the feature fight of this card. Even this card is mid. There are better fights in this card that they can, be replaced with. But what I will say is that Brissek wasn't even fighting on the biggest Poland promotion either.
No, and his level of competition ain't really the greatest.
Dude, it's terrible, bro.
I mean, listen, he was doing what he needed to do. Like his highlight reel is crazy. Like he knocked out this one dude where he went face planted, looked like he was getting electrocuted when he hit the ground.
Right, but he's lost to like elite fighters. Like he fought Sabado Sai, lost to him.
Yeah, he's lost to known fighters. He hasn't really beat anybody impressive.
Yeah,
and I mean, listen, Pretoria has lost spectacularly, and isn't really anything up to snuff as well. I'm not too high on him either, but I think if Pretoria, two things for Pretoria. Pretoria, I know he's got a Sambo background.
He can wrestle.
He can wrestle.
He's capable.
He hasn't shown it, but if he wanted to whip that out, I think it's there for him. That on top of the fact that I think moving down in weight is going to help him. He's going to be the bigger guy with the faster hands. I am worried about his chin a bit. I guess I'm not. I mean, it sounds crazy, but I kind of like Pretoria here as a dog.
Yeah, but in Bellato, and he kind of used some of his wrestling and his grappling with Bellato. So you kind of got a taste of what it is. And Bellato, that besides the volume, he is, comparable on the floor. So he was able to break the guard, land damage on him, So if this is another situation like that, Pretoria does hit hard. I just don't like the level of competition Brissek has fought. And he didn't even fight in the best promotion in Poland. A lot of people were giving him criticism for kind of ducking that promotion.
Yeah.
And his management felt like that was best. But the thing is, when you get to this level, you need to fight better guys to be ready for the people at the elite UFC level. And Pretoria, I'm not saying he's elite. He's bottom of the barrel, but we've seen a lot of guys get turned back that had a lot of hype behind them. And it's like this guy, Brissek, is an undefeated prospect. He's got 5 losses, 1 to Sabado Sai. And then, and for people who don't know who Sabado Sai is, he's on PFL. He's one of the best fighters on PFL, in my opinion. I think my brother agrees too. He's filthy on the feet. Decent takedown defense as well. But the other guys he lost to, they're good, but they're not great. He's not losing even to great fighters. Sabado Sai is the most notable name on his resume.
And and say what you want about Pretoria. At least he's got UFC experience. He's fought some UFC level guys.
And the way he was lighting up Bellato in that last fight, he looked fantastic. He comes in with braids. I think it's a max bet. You know what I'm saying? Holy shit.
Damn. Gangsta Pretoria.
I'm all in for that motherfucker because that dude he looked good, man. I was just surprised at what I was watching.
I mean, hopefully, I guess things to keep an eye on. I mean,
how he's talking and
if he
does
makes
he come in with cornrows?
Yeah, I mean, if he comes in with cornrows, if he makes the weight, I think Pretoria is probably live here, man.
I agree.
Co-main event, featherweight, Dan Ige, Andre Fili, 50K Ige, 17-7, fighting out of Hawaii, 32 years old. There's a thing before Hawaii, but I don't know how to pronounce that city, so I apologize. I'm skipping that. Andre Fili. Touchy-feely. Pause.
Oh, Jesus.
Most sus nickname in the game. I mean, he like big booty Latinas, right? So we're going in. Sacramento, California. 23-10 overall. 33 years old. The age. Banger fight. I think this fight probably goes to decision more often than not. Finishing upside, in my opinion, is going to be on the Ige side. I like Ige here to win.
Another side I feel pretty confident with.
I think Ige is just a tough dude. Hits hard.
Not going to get out grappled in this fight.
I like his chin over Fili's. That I agree with you. I think the grappling is probably a wash.
Yeah. Fili might try to wrestle him, but Bryce Mitchell had a hard time getting this guy down. And I think Bryce has better chain wrestling to get guys to the floor. Andre's more of like he'll turn the corner, but Ige's going to be ready for that. I'm sure he's watched tape. Ige's like not a tough, he's a tough out for everybody. The only guy that's made him look bad, there's only one guy that's made him look bad. I forgot his name. Made him look really bad.
You talking about Ige or are you talking about Fili?
Ige. There's only one guy. Cater put mitts on him. But it was there was someone else that made him look like he didn't belong in there with him.
I mean, he fought Evelev.
It was Evelev. Evelev, yeah, because Evelev is just a monster. A monster. So
$1 million, that guy.
So yeah, Evelev is the only guy that made him look bad. Andre doesn't have any of that. Andre he's good. He's got good size, good power, but I think Ige's chin's gonna hold up in this fight, and if it does, even that, it can Andre even touch him? He probably hits him, but I just see Ige.
I like Ige's chin.
Ige's better everywhere.
Down. He's never been knocked out.
He's better everywhere, in my opinion.
I think if you like the Andre Fili side, I think you either go decision because of the volume, or you take a stab on the submission.
Yeah,
because I think if there's any kind of finishing equity on the Fili side, I don't think he knocks Ige out. It's probably submission.
Yeah,
but I think that's still low chance because again,
Andre by decision. That's how you play him.
If you like the Andre side.
Like Andre, I just don't like. I love Andre too. I hate talking about him like this, but
no, this is a good fight.
It's a great fight, but I just think Dan is dynamite. As his nickname says, so he could knock him out.
I like
could definitely
Dan,
happen.
Probably by decision, but if that knockout prop look a little nuts, you could sprinkle a little bit on the knockout prop.
I might take a square bet on him, guys, at minus 170, 175. It's there.
I didn't even think it was. I thought it was wider.
Yeah,
that's actually not that. That might be a 2-unit bet for me. Maybe.
Yeah, it's a 2-unit bet.
I like Ige a lot on this in this spot.
Yeah, he always shows up. I can always depend on Ige to be present. Andre, not so much. He might look like Joe Anderson Brito fight where he just turned his brain off.
Also, this isn't Ige's original opponent. His original opponent was Lerone Murphy, actually,
which is a great fight.
That fight would have been.
Oh yeah, Lerone knows how to manage distance very well.
That would have been an interesting fight.
Hard to hold down, but Ige probably would have wrestled him. But
Fili's actually coming in last minute for this fight.
Yeah, you want the real? Ige might wrestle Andre.
Yeah,
I can see that too. So, but you want the real? Yeah, Ige is the side here. I think he's a play. He might be a 2-unit play, but we'll see. We'll see when it comes down to it. So I agree with you.
Main event time: UFC Vegas 86 middleweight division. Jack Hermansson, Joe Pyfer, banger. The Joker, Hermansson, 23-8, fighting out of Norway, hailing from Sweden, 35 years old. Going one-on-one with the body bags himself.
Great nickname.
Joe Pyfer, 12-2, fighting out of Pennsylvania, 27 years old. Listen, everybody knows Joe Pyfer.
Body bags.
Body bags is a Dana White guy. This is his first main event. 5-rounder, tough opponent, big step up in competition, in my opinion. I think this is the way I'm kind of leaning. I'm playing it out of my head. I kind of like Joe Pyfer. I don't think the money line is that good at all.
No,
I think it's a little too wide.
That's nuts. Especially for a guy that we've never really seen go into round 3, and now he's in a 5-round fight. And he's low volume. So what's his volume going to be like for this fight if he doesn't even know how to test the waters himself? He's going to have to wrestle Jack, but good luck. Jack is not like incompetent, and Jack is not a bad grappler.
I think this fight, in the first 2 rounds, there's a high probability, at least at a high clip, I think Joe can catch him.
Correct. And if Sean Strickland knocked down Jack Hermansson, Joe Pyfer could knock down Jack Hermansson. Sean's not a big puncher.
Sean's not a big puncher. Pyfer, big puncher.
Big puncher.
Problem with Pyfer is that, again, the low volume thing kind of hurts him because he's looking for that shot.
Correct.
He wants to melt dudes. Once this gets past the second round,
Jack is live.
I think Jack is live.
Correct.
Because Jack, vet.
He doesn't get tired either, man.
Doesn't get tired. We could take Joe Pyfer into some deep waters here. This is one of these things where I feel like if you're betting this,
you play the props for like Pyfer first and second round,
yes.
And then if it gets there and you see Pyfe taking some deep breaths in the corner, you play Jack.
Or if you just like the Jack side in general, I think you just wait.
Yeah, because he's going to be plus 1,000 if Joe Pyfe have his way in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah,
especially with the wrestling. Like Joe Pyfer's wrestling is not that good, in my opinion. People are like he's explosive, but that's it. Like his entries, especially in his last fight, really didn't impress me.
I think it's hard to say because I haven't seen enough. Yeah. I think you're right. I haven't.
Like the way he shot on that last dude he fought was like, it was just ugly. He kind of just blitzed him. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I'm not too impressed with it yet, but I still kind of want to see more before I make a judgment because we just haven't seen enough of Joe.
What I also like too, and I think if you're asking me for the pick now too, what I think he does knock him out in the first 2. The reason being is because he shows he's very poised. He doesn't panic. He did it. He stepped up against Gerald Meerschaert at that time, and I know it's Gerald Meerschaert, it's an older Gerald Meerschaert, but he took his time, man. He just broke him down, Took his time. I could see him doing the same thing with Jack. The thing is, Jack is going to return fire better than Gerald Meerschaert. So that's the question, This is a big step up in competition for Pyfer, but I think he probably gets him in the first 2 rounds. But if not, I'm live betting Jack.
I mean, Hermansson is already around the plus 200 range. That's super tempting.
Yeah,
I'm on the fence about this fight legitimately. I think if you ask me, I think Joe is probably gonna knock him out early. But man, from a betting perspective, man, looking at that plus 200 on Hermansson, it's a little tempting, just a bit. Haven't decided if I want to pull the trigger on it yet because I do like Joe and his upside, and like I said, high clip. I think he catches him early, but man, I think it's a good fight and
great fight.
If it goes deep, Hermansson's a shark, man.
Hey yo. But now I appreciate Jack Hermansson. I just don't know if he's going to be able to withstand the initial barrage from this guy. And if he just walks him down and just very patient with him, we'll see what happens. Joe's also very big for the weight class, man. There's a lot of things that favor Pyfer here. And I think the organization is putting him in positions in fights that he can win because they want to see him become a star, in the UFC. So there's a lot of things, a lot of reasons I like Joe here. And Joe, I think he comes from that Philly team with Sean Brady and stuff. So they're pretty decent at game planning and, bullying dudes around. Him and Sean Brady, they have the same body type. They kind of fight the same way. But the thing is, what I am curious about is if Joe Pyfer deals with someone that has more physical than him. That's when I think a lot of questions will get answered about Joe. I just do not think Jack is gonna be that guy. Joe Pyfer by first or second round knockout. Jack Hermansson late though, for sure. Live bet.
And that's all we got for UFC Vegas 86 in the books. But we got a little bit of boxing, don't we, my brother?
Yes, we do. And it's tonight, guys. So this podcast is gonna be up. After the fights drop, but we'll give our picks here, and then you guys will follow, if you follow some social media platforms like you're supposed to already because you're going to be late when you hear this shit, you'll see that we're going to put our bets up tonight. But we have a Teofimo Lopez going against a Jamaine Ortiz tonight. Today being Thursday, by the way, this podcast is being recorded late, so we apologize. But long story short, and just to cut straight into it, if Teofimo Lopez is sharp tonight and is exactly who he's been, especially how he looked his last fight, I think he gets it done. Now, I don't know if he's going to knock him out because Jamaine Ortiz has only lost to one person, that being Vasily Lomachenko, and he didn't get knocked out in that fight either, even with Lomachenko's volume. He has gotten better since then too, I'm assuming, because he fought Lomachenko, I think, as a 24, 25-year-old. Now he's 27, so now he's heading into his prime. It's really just a question if Teofimo Lopez shows up tonight and if Jamaine Ortiz has made some adjustments to get better. I think Teofimo is going to get it done. He probably gets it done via decision.
I agree. I'm leaning Teofimo by decision as well. Nothing against Jamaine Ortiz. I think if Ortiz had a little more power, I think this fight would probably be a little more spicy. Again, if Lopez is on his A game, Lopez should get it done. Jamaine is young enough and durable enough where I don't think he's going to get laid out by Teofimo here.
And this isn't 137. This is Teo at 140. So he's fighting bigger boys now.
Yeah.
And if you notice, Teo's not sleeping dudes either, you know? He fought Pedro Campa, but Pedro Campa, I think, what is he? Is he at 140?
I don't recall.
Super lightweight. These boxing divisions get me crazy. But
you just got to look at the weight, the actual weight. Yeah. The names are crazy.
Yeah, names are wild. But yeah, he's essentially at 139.5. Yeah. So I just think that, like, at this weight, Teo's power can translate, but he has to kind of catch you coming in. Whereas at 137, it was not the case. So I do like it by decision for a lot of those reasons. And Teo has been more responsible in terms of his shot selection since losing to Cambozos, in my opinion. If knockout's there, he'll get it. But if it's not there, he'll coast. So Teofimo Lopez by decision.
That's all we got, ladies and gentlemen, for the fights. I don't think there's anything else to say but to say thank you. Welcome back. We back. Axis of Combat, episode 40. What you got for me, my brother?
You already know the routine, guys. Like, follow, subscribe, comment, Facebook, Twitter, formerly known as X, Instagram, and TikTok.
Everybody enjoying the YouTube visuals right now. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date.
And for all of our audio listeners, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcast, everything's free, guys, as you guys know. Help us out with those subs. Help us get those likes up, those comments. Please comment. We're being very interactive with you guys in the comment section. And we want to get this show to a point where when you guys comment, we'll bring it up on the following episode. And when we decide to start live streaming, we'll start addressing you guys directly there. But we want more feedback. We want a lot of these things. So help us out. Glad to be back, guys. Sorry for missing you guys for the last week. We had a lot of extenuating circumstances, preventing us from getting together. We're glad to be back. We feel pretty good about this card and how we're going to play it so far.
For the most part.
For the most part.
Yeah.
It can be a scary card, but it could be bettable. I'll be frank with you. I think it's bettable, but there's a lot of different ways that these fights can go. So we might be conservative, but I don't think, we're going to find you value.
We'll figure it out.
So
props haven't dropped yet, so there's nothing really to stick our teeth in to technically yet. But
absolutely. But please follow us on all social media platforms so you can get updates on our bets. We love you guys. Holla at ya. Peace.